Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. My name is Fanele Chester and I'm the founder of the Knowledge Institute. You are tuned in today to watch an episode talking about online learning opportunities for anyone who's interested in entrepreneurship or who's already a business owner, courtesy of JA Eswatini as well as MTN Eswatini. So today I'll be going through what are the opportunities for you to expand your skill set as an entrepreneur, or how to ideate if you are not an entrepreneur yet but you are interested in going to that field of work. As you know, in the TKI we are an NGO that focuses on education. So I'm looking at education and skills training opportunities for young people who are interested in being business owners. Right. So my presentation will cover four areas broadly. The first one being just an introduction to the Knowledge Institute, TKI, who we are as an NGO, what kind of work do we do in the country, what is our mission. Secondly, I will go into an overview of online learning opportunities for entrepreneurs. Thirdly, I will profile 5 specific platforms that you can use as an entrepreneur in order to expand your skill set or get more opportunities for your business. And then we will have some time at the end to take any questions. I'm hoping to get as many questions as possible from the audience that is watching on Facebook and on other streaming platforms today. Right. Great. So TKI is an NGO that we started as 3 students at the time in 2013. So we are 10 years old as an NGO this year. And our focus is developing Eswatini's future leaders by expanding access to learning and opportunities and skills development locally and internationally. So our mandate is to ensure that as many young people as possible get access to learning opportunities, especially once they finish high school, and that could be going into tertiary in terms of university and colleges and things like that, or going into technical programs that allow them to further their education, but now focusing on an area that allows them to get the skill sets and opportunities so that they can build a decent life for themselves. As an NGO, we work throughout the country. You will normally find us at career fairs, at presentations, in schools, and in other relevant events. So please do come by if you see us at fairs and say hi. We usually also have a lot of handouts that we give out to people that summarizes the kind of information that we provide to people and the support that we provide. And at the end of this presentation, you will see a link that goes to our website and our email address, and you can further on use those resources to get more information and to get in touch with us as an NGO. Right, so going into the topic of the day of online learning opportunities for entrepreneurs. When I was doing my research for this particular episode, I found that there are over 20,000 opportunities for young people to get access to learning opportunities for their businesses or to become entrepreneurs. So 20,000 different courses focus on business or entrepreneurship is quite a lot of resources, but which tells me that if you do want to get the skills or information, there are many places for you to be able to do that. And when I was surveying these kinds of online learning resources that I found that they fall into this bucket. So right from the beginning, ideating and building a business, there's lots of opportunities there whereby if you have a sense of what you're interested in, but you don't know how to convert that into a business, and we'll cover that on some of the platforms that we have today. There's of these 20,000 online learning opportunities, that's something that is covered. So basically, there's a lot of opportunities that teach you how to become an entrepreneur and how to become a business owner from the idea stage. Secondly, there's quite a number of technical training and certifications that are available for entrepreneurs that are offered by various companies from IBM to Google to Meta, and a lot of other smaller ones that are specific, for example, around digital marketing, around finance and accounting for business owners, or HR, communications, and so on and so forth. And sometimes the businesses that you might want to start require you to be accredited in some way. So these certifications also allow you to get that accreditation so that when customers are looking at your business, you can provide proof that you are indeed qualified as a business owner to offer this service. So there's quite a number of courses and a number of online learning opportunities that provide you with that technical training, as well as the certification that allows you to then go out and trade as that business. And then thirdly, there's a number of just general business courses. You know, although business is specific according to industry and also according to trends at that time, some of these things can be broad, can be general. So there's quite a number of general business courses that you can find. For example, ideation would be one example, or accounting could be another example. To some extent, marketing and communication. So there's quite a number of just general business courses. And I think within these general business courses, I also found quite a number of resources around your development as an individual in order to be able to have the character that allows you to succeed as an entrepreneur. So there's quite a number of courses around leadership development, personal development, coaching that enable you basically to have the skill set as an individual in order to run a successful business. I listed the fourth one specifically because, as you know, the internet has changed the game for a number of industries. There are quite a number of courses and opportunities to help you specifically with the digital aspect of running a business. Every business today has an aspect of it that is digital, and indeed there's lots of businesses that are fully digital themselves. So there's quite a number of courses as well that provide that information around how to digitize your business or how to run a digital business, whether it's digital marketing or it's software development, and so on and so forth. Right, the fifth one is around raising money and funding, which is something that whenever I go to meetings in Eswatini for young people who want to start businesses, it comes up as a sore point. Although raising money and funding looks different in different contexts, especially also in the kind of businesses that you are trying to start. So there's a lot of resources around that as well. And then sixth is specific trends. There's courses that are focused on specific trends that are affecting businesses these days. We just came from the ChatGPT era. Before that, there was the metaverse era. We are now in the AI era. So there's lots of resources to help business people just understand what the impact of this could be and what the opportunities that this provide for those businesses. And then finally, I'm going to touch on what I'm calling digital hubs that are geographic, and most of these are focused on Africa, although there are other geographies outside of that, and some of them can be focused even just on countries, for example, South Africa, Kenya, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to touch on those on one of the platforms that I'm going to look at today, because I think that those hubs are really important if you want to be part of a network of entrepreneurs who are in the same space so that you can do knowledge sharing. Right, so we'll try to cover all of this in the time that we have, but most of it will come out on the different platforms that we'll be looking at today. Right, so the platforms that we're going to be looking at today are 5. So we're going to look at Google for Startups, we'll look at a platform called Coursera and edX, we'll look at ALX Africa, and finally we'll look at Startup School. By no means do all of these 20,000 resources that I mentioned fall in only these 5 opportunities. There are many more other platforms that you could be looking at if you want to get that knowledge and information as a young business owner or an entrepreneur. But for diversity of the different kinds of platforms that you'll find out there, I thought I would focus on this 5 for today, so you have a sense of what learning online could look like as a business owner. Right, so we'll go into the first one. So the first one is Google Startups, and you'll see there I've put in the URL. It's startup.google.com, and what I like about the image I've shared here is that although this is an online learning platform, they also offer opportunities for entrepreneurs to engage in person, especially through accelerators or through hubs that are regional. So for example, Google for Startups will have, does have a hub in Google Africa's office in South Africa, as well as in Kenya, as well as in West Africa. So, and this is something that you'll find a lot in these online learning resources for entrepreneurs, is that there's also opportunities to engage offline. So startups.google.com is the platform that's provided by Google to help business owners who are in Africa and other parts of the world with resources to help them. And these resources include, again, ideation, and creating a minimum viable product. So the very, very basic version of the business that you want to start. Google offers a number of short courses, especially because Google itself can be a service provider for the kind of business that you have. So they offer short courses. For example, if you want to go to build a business that is based on cloud products, and your host is Google, Google provides training for you to figure out how to use the Google platform in order to offer those cloud services as part of your business. So those short courses are available, and they also offer quite a number of courses to help you build specific digital skills. It could be in marketing, it could be in coding or development, and a whole lot of other things. And thirdly, as I mentioned, Google has an accelerator. Unfortunately, when I was looking at the countries that are eligible, maybe not unfortunately actually, but the countries that are eligible in terms of where the businesses or where the entrepreneur is based, Eswatini was not there. But from what I saw is that you can join this accelerator program, which by the way is currently taking applications for a 10-week online accelerator program. If your business is operating in those countries where Google has an interest, it looks like you are also able to participate. So for example, if you're an entrepreneur that is based in Eswatini, but you're going to be running a business that is also present in South Africa or in the other regions where Google has a physical office, it's something that you could look at in terms of joining this accelerator program, where it's basically like an intensive program to build you up as an entrepreneur. I saw quite a number of courses around project management, because being a project manager is a really big part of being an entrepreneur, right? So they offer the skills training, but also the platforms that you can use as you're project managing that are based on Google. And then obviously there's lots of resources around digitizing your business. And then finally, what I found interesting, and I think this is because Google has this accelerator hub, is that the startup.google.com also provides a founders network. So you are able to connect with other entrepreneurs on this platform that is provided by Google. So I would just like us to look at what this platform looks like. So we're just going to shift from the slides and go onto the actual page of startup.google.com. I hope you are seeing it on your screen now. So this is the URL that I shared on my slides. So as you can see, there's quite a number of resources that are available for you here. There are products that you can use. You can learn, as I mentioned. There are programs that are available for you. For example, the accelerator program. So if we're, for example, go and click on learn, you'll see that it is a drop-down menu, and it shows you all of the different things that you can learn around branding and marketing, strategy, building a team. I know entrepreneurs will know that building a team is probably one of the most difficult things that you'll face if you're trying to start a business. And then leadership development, and so on and so forth. So all you need to do is to get started is basically use your Google account. So if you get started there, you'll scroll down, and essentially it will ask you to sign up using your email address, and then you will go from there. Alright, so going back to our slides, the next platform that we will look at is Coursera. So Coursera is basically a general learning platform that is not only for entrepreneurs but all sorts of different kinds of people. So this is what I would call a general platform. And what you'll immediately notice about Coursera is that unlike Google, where all of the resources that are offered are being provided by Google, Coursera actually has partnered with a number of higher learning institutions to draw from their expertise to then provide these learning resources for you. So Coursera itself was started by Stanford University, which is one of the leading, if not the #1 university in the world right now, or #2, if the things have changed. But they've partnered with a number of the top universities in the world, like Harvard Business School. Harvard University is one of the leading business schools in the world, so as well as Stanford, Princeton, and so on and so forth. So basically they offer a number of different general courses that are available to you to take online. And these courses can range from just free courses. There are also paid courses that you can take if you want more advanced courses. But there are a number of free courses that you can take. There are a number of short courses, so they can be as short as a day or even 2 hours, or a week long or 4 weeks, or all the way up to 8 months. So there's quite a number of short courses available. But beyond that, as a business owner, I find that actually having an education can provide you with a solid foundation for building your business. So this platform in particular also offers university courses that are at the bachelor's degree and master's degree level, all online and all fully accredited with the various accreditation bodies around the world. Coursera also offers a unique kind of code called a nano degree. So I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes if you go to a traditional university and you're taking, for example, a BCom in marketing, that BCom in marketing will cover everything from accounting to tax and so on and so forth. So a nano degree just takes the BCom courses that are to do with marketing specifically and focuses that degree on that particular skill set that you're looking at, as opposed to providing a broad general degree that has other areas of focus. And nano degrees tend to be shorter and more accelerated because they're a lot more focused, but they are taught at the degree level as opposed to a diploma level. And in fact, some of them are even taught at the master's level. And then finally, Coursera offers quite a number of certifications, and we're going to look at what those certifications are. So if we could switch again and look at the Coursera platform itself, just to see what it looks like. Let me see if my... Okay, great. So if you look at Coursera, and you can do for business if you are now already running a business and you want to enroll other people in your company in that. But for now, we'll focus on the individual, right? So if we look at Coursera right now, I don't know if my view on the projector is showing the same thing as I am, but there should be a search function at the top. Yes, great. So if you just hover over that, it should then provide a drop down with the different kinds of courses that you're able to take in the different sort of programs in Coursera. So I would just recommend that you just play around with it and see what Coursera has to offer. Moving on very swiftly to the next platform, and this is very similar to Coursera, and it's called edX. So where Coursera was started by Stanford, edX was started by Harvard. Harvard University in collaboration with MIT. Sorry, I'm trying to find my slides on this side. I don't know what I touched. Let me go back. Okay, great. Now that I've gone back, I see my slides. So it was started by Harvard University in collaboration with MIT. Again, these are the top universities in the world. And similar to Coursera, it's a general platform that provides a whole lot of other resources, not only for entrepreneurs, but if you go to the platform itself, you can also see resources specifically to do with business. And we can do that right now just to see what the edX platform looks like. So similar to Coursera, if you hover over courses up there, if we're on the edX platform, just hover without clicking, a drop down menu will come up and you will see all of the courses that are available. You can go, for example, if you're running a business that is already in tech, you can click on AI, but if you specifically want business courses, you can also again go to the business courses themselves. Right, moving on. Another platform you can look at that I really love is called ALX Africa. So we are back on our slides. So ALX Africa is slightly different from Coursera and from edX in the sense that it's a platform that was built specifically for Africans, right? So it was built from the ground up in response to what are the needs on the continent for businesses in Africa. And the second thing that is unique about ALX is that it really focuses on businesses that are in the technology space. So you'll see, for example, that ALX Africa is a platform that offers a lot of information around building a business in the software development space. In fact, they have a course that is for software developers, for starters, and software developers who already have some experience. So there's a core course and there is a plus course. They also have a course that is really focused on data analytics. You could build an entire business just offering data analytics services for other businesses, so a B2B. And they have courses that are focused on Salesforce. So Salesforce is a CRM that a lot of businesses use to manage their database of customers and so on and so forth. So for example, if you're running a bank and you've got 100,000 customers whose various information you have, the backend platform that you could be using for that is a CRM, and Salesforce is one of the leading CRMs in the world for that. But outside of offering all of these training opportunities for entrepreneurs, ALX Africa also has a platform within itself, so a platform within a platform that is called The Room. So once they've trained you on those various different skills, they actually have a platform to connect you with the different opportunities on the continent to either get employment or contracts or tendering opportunities, so that your business can now connect with opportunity to provide a service for other businesses. And this is called The Room. So it's almost like a LinkedIn for business entrepreneurs in the tech space in Africa. And then finally, ALX, similar to Google Startups, also has regional hubs. So in addition to providing online resources, ALX Africa also has physical spaces in South Africa, I believe, in Kenya, in Rwanda, and I believe also in Ghana, and they're growing by the day. So when you join ALX Africa, you'll be able to learn online, but you'll also be able to attend events and connect with other entrepreneurs and other opportunities in real time, and really build your business connections in that way. So we're going to take a look at what the ALX platform looks like right now. And what I love about ALX is that, similar to the other platforms, you are able to study for free thanks to ALX's partnership with MasterCard. So MasterCard provides scholarships for you to study on the ALX platform for free. So right now they're accepting applications until the 12th of September, so I'd really recommend that you apply. So if we're to hover over the programs tab, you will see that they offer cloud computing with Amazon Web Services, AWS. They offer data analytics, they offer Salesforce, as I mentioned, and then the different kinds of software engineering that I mentioned, plus for those who are experienced, or introduction for those who are not experienced. So I really recommend you take a look at that. And ALX is actually started by a company that has already built a university called the African Leadership University, and built a high school called African Leadership Academy. So from an academic perspective, they have quite a lot of experience providing educational opportunities. And this is their third offering that is specifically focused on entrepreneurs in the tech space. Then the last platform that we'll look at is called Startup School. So Startup School is another unique one because it's actually started as a result of another opportunity that is called Young Combinator. So if you don't know Young Combinator is probably the leading startup accelerator program in the world. If you think of the top tech companies in the world, from Airbnb to Stripe and a lot of others, they first started as just young people joining this accelerator program. So Y Combinator is known as the program for businesses that want to become a unicorn. A unicorn is a business that has reached a $1 billion valuation. I think in Africa right now, we've got about 2 or 3 billion dollar valuation startups that are called unicorns, and they went through this Y Combinator program. So based on the lessons that Y Combinator has gained from working with high performing startups in Africa for the past, in the world, not in Africa, for the past 15 years, they then started this thing called Startup School to basically synthesize all of those lessons that they have got over these past 15 years, so that even for businesses that don't get the opportunity to be part of the Y Combinator program can gain access to those skills and resources that can enable them to build similarly high-performing businesses anywhere in the world. So what is covered there again is Founders for Unicorns. A unicorn, as I mentioned, is a $1 billion valuation startup. They focus on building a team, which is probably one of the most important things that you'll have to learn how to do. And in fact, Y Combinator provides a platform to help you find team members across the world. So you could be running a startup company in the tech space, but your software developer is based in India. They provide that matching platforms to meet other people so that you're not just building your team in your country, but you're building a global team. They provide a lot of resources around pitching your business, and then of course, because they are part of, they come from Y Combinator, they provide a lot of resources around pitching to VCs, venture capitalists, so that you can get funding to really grow your business. So we'll take a look at what the Y Combinator platform looks like right now. And again, it's a free course. I think it's a 10-week or 7-week program that takes only an hour or two a day. And I think if you scroll all the way down, okay, we can't see it here, but they actually offer a view of what their curriculum looks like. So if you send me an email at the end of the program, I can actually send you their curriculum so that you can see what courses are provided in there. And these online learning resources are focused on your business as an African person who's working and building a business in Africa, which is a very specific context, but can also focus on a global or international perspective that can help you build your business, especially if you want your business to not just be focused on customers in your region or on your continent, but focus on your customers globally. So maybe I'll take a pause here and check if there are any questions that we've received from our viewers online, and we could tackle some of those at this moment. Okay, all right, so I have 3 questions in front of me right now that I will try to tackle. So the first question is, among the platforms mentioned, which one is the easiest to use? So in my experience, the platforms that I've used here, I've used the Google for Startup platform, I've used the Coursera platform, I've used the edX platform. In fact, I've used all of this platform in some form or fashion in the past number of years. And the user experience from my side has been really good in all of them. Each of them are different because you learn on them differently. So for example, Google for Startups, some of the online learning courses that are there are self-paced in the sense that you can sign up at any point and just follow that course according to your availability, your understanding, and so on and so forth. But it also has the accelerator program that I mentioned that is 10 weeks, so you move with the class. I have really enjoyed the courses that I take with other people because I find that I may not always be as disciplined in staying on top of my studies, but if I'm moving with the class and I'm following a set schedule that meets at a particular time, it's easier for me. It's one less decision that I have to make on my day on where to fit the time for learning. So in 2021, I used the Google for Startups platform, and in fact, I was matched with the business mentor who helped me sort of apply what I was learning in the platform in the business that I was starting at that time. And that was really helpful. So we had set meeting or office hours with my mentor. So by the time I met my mentor, I'd already done my homework and would go through that, and I would have submitted it ahead of time. So just having that extra accountability, I found that works really well. And the platforms that offer that are Google for Startups Africa. Some of the Coursera and edX platforms, if you choose to pay for them, are also they also work on a set schedule. ALX is a fully course-based program that you take with other people. You can't take it It's not self-paced, so I found that can help as well. And the Y Combinator startup, as I mentioned, they've got a 7-week program where you can learn with other people outside of the online learning resources that you can take at your own. So in short, the platforms that are easier to follow are the ones where you are learning with other people, because you've got someone that is holding you accountable. You can learn from other people's experiences. Most of the time you're matched with the mentor. You can sign up for office hours to speak to a person on topics that are specific to your particular business. So I found that helps. But sometimes when I just want a specific thing that I want to learn, so for example, in 2015, I was really focused on customer analytics at the time, because as TKI, we were working with MTN, MTN Educare through MTN Foundation, and we're providing business analytics for them on their MTN Educare platform. So I was able to take a short course just to understand what customer analytics are, just to fill in that knowledge gap for myself. And it was a short course, so it was a week long. I didn't really need someone to hold me accountable, so that was easy. But for the longer courses, where it's 4 weeks or 8 weeks or even longer, I find it's easier to use platforms where you are learning with other people and it's not just dependent on you. And then the second question I have is, what are the things one needs to get into this space? So it's online learning, so you have to be able to access the resources from where you are, right? So one, you need to have a laptop. You need to have a laptop. You could, work for example, in Babane Library or Manzini Library on the American space where they've got sometimes computers there. But sometimes you want to be learning at odd hours. So having a laptop accessible to you, and again, I say a laptop so that you can move with it. So if it's a desktop, it's quite difficult to move and work in different spaces. A big part of entrepreneurship is creativity, and a big part of creativity is working in different environments, just to get new ideas. So having a laptop, I find that really works. And make sure that you invest in one that you won't have to replace every 2 to 3 years. So off the bat, just get a laptop that will allow you to work properly. And then secondly, you need to have access to the internet, right? Because you are learning online. Some of these platforms may provide a subsidy if you're going through a structured program for 8 or 10 weeks, where they can also provide you with funding to get access to the internet. And I say this because I know how expensive access to the internet is in Eswatini. But other than that, just invest in like a business or a home package for Wi-Fi, so that you can, an uncapped one, please. The capped one, once you run out of those bundles, then you have to pay more. An uncapped business or home bundle for Wi-Fi, so that you can learn whenever you have the time. So those are the two main things that you would need. I would also recommend having a mobile device like a phone. Some of these platforms allow you to, they have an app that you can also continue learning on your phone if you're not in front of your laptop at that time. So if you're just going through a quick refresher module, you can do that on your phone as you are on the bus to a client or whatever the case may be. So I really I recommend that you have some kind of smartphone that allows you to download apps so that you continue learning on these apps on your phone. So those are the things that you need. And then thirdly, so the question here is, how do you charge for your clients? I don't know if it's asking about whether these platforms are free or if it's asking about the Knowledge Institute. I'll answer both. So as TKI, we don't typically charge for our services as an NGO unless we're being asked by a company to offer that service, in which case we charge. But for individuals, our goal is to spread knowledge as far and wide as possible. We don't really charge. We work really as an NGO, unless, again, if it's something where we are based in Babane and we have to travel to Labomisa, we will ask if that particular group of people could help cover our transport costs, which is really minimal, but we don't charge for our services. But if you're a company, we do not provide that service as an NGO to you. We charge so that we're able to then subsidize the cost that it takes for us to cover those services for individuals. And then these particular platforms, Google for Startups, Coursera, ALX, edX, and Y Combinator Startup School, are completely free, as I mentioned, right? Unless you want to get a certification, and even then, I find that sometimes you're able to apply for a scholarship so that you can even get that certificate for free. But you have to apply as you would with any other scholarship and make the case for why you need to get the certificate, but you cannot afford it, right? But I find that that application process is pretty straightforward. For example, for Coursera, they take applications for scholarships year-round, and it takes them 2 to 3 weeks to give you back with a response. The number of times that I've applied for a Coursera scholarship, I've never been denied, because I can make the case why, as a young woman in Africa who's trying to start a business, that I am eligible to get funding in order to get a certification for what I'm studying. So these 5 platforms that I've highlighted, you can get most of the services for free, whether it's a service that is provided as a paid service and you can apply for funding, or it's the resources that are available that you would be able to get for free anyways. The key thing is really the certification, where sometimes you can pay minimal amount, like it can be as low as $49, which is less than 1,000 Rand for us, or a bit higher than that in some cases. Yes, so these are the 3 questions that I had received. I don't know if we have any other questions that we've received. Okay, I've got 2 minutes left. So maybe what I could close off with, and maybe we could move to the slide that has our contact information. So you could use that email address to get in touch if you have any other questions. If you want to find other scholarships in general, maybe you are a young person who still wants to go to university, but are starting business on the side, you can go to our scholarship page to find more information about that. But the general advice that I would give is that, first of all, like any other education resources outside of just those for entrepreneurs, what I want to just say is that there are really a lot of resources available for you to get the skills that you need, right? So please don't be sitting at home thinking, oh, I want to start a business as a photographer, but I don't even know where to begin. You know, just go on Google and search courses for photography, courses for freelancing, courses for videography online or something like that. There are really quite a number of resources available for you. So please don't start a business or grow a business on account of you don't have access to information. Secondly, once you start these training programs, please complete them, because there are so many benefits to you. Like, become a lifelong learner as an entrepreneur, right? Stay on with the trends. You know, as the business world is changing, this will have an impact on your particular industry. You know, keep up to date with what is available by becoming a lifelong learner. So learning doesn't end as soon as you get the certification or you get that degree or that master's degree, whatever the case may be. Just be a person who's always willing to learn, and literally schedule an hour or 2 every week where you are just taking that time for that personal development to learn or to even refresh your skills. That little bit of discipline and consistency can make a really big difference on your bottom line as an entrepreneur. So I would just like to say in closing, thank you so much again to MTN Eswatini and JA Eswatini for starting this fantastic program. For online learning, please do reach out to the Knowledge Institute, and we'll be able to assist you when you can as an entrepreneur on what learning resources are available for you online to grow your businesses. Thank you and have a great day.